So you can't get free Nintendo ROMs anymore from a couple of websites? Nintendo put the smack down. Oh yeah. Alright guys, so tonight I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to combine a topic with the video game. I wanted to shoot two videos, but I really don't have time, so I'm going to combine them and see how it goes. Let's go. Alright guys, so let's talk about this. Listen, Nintendo is under no legal obligation to let other companies make money from their properties, from their intellectual properties. They're under no obligation to let these people use their images that they own so these companies can make money. Of course, they don't make money from, say, the ROMs themselves. They're not charging these places for downloading them. At least I don't think so. I don't see the ROMs anymore, but they get money from revenue from ads and stuff like that, right? And the only reason they're able to do that is because people are going to their websites in order to get ROMs from Nintendo and other companies, right? They know it's illegal. It's been done for years, but you know what? It's the future. This is what's coming. We see it now with Sony and Microsoft, right? They're offering their services. They're offering some older games on their platforms. And soon Nintendo's going to be doing the same. Now Nintendo's making money off these games by selling them on their shop, but you know what? Streaming is coming. Let me tell you something, friends. Back in the day, you can ask your parents. Your parents were willing, or uncles or older brothers were willing to give their computers the worst viruses in history in order to download a song or a couple of songs, right? They would leave the computers on overnight downloading songs so they can play them, right? And that doesn't exist anymore, right? Nobody's downloading MP3s off the internet anymore. The reason why? Streaming, right? There's no need. You can get your Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, whatever, and you have all the music you want there, and you play it whenever you want, wherever you want, and all you do is you pay a monthly fee, and that's your music right there, right? The same thing is going to happen in video games, right? You see it now. You see it with Microsoft. You see it with Sony, because now they have their streaming their services that they offer where you can play games online and download these games, classic games that they had from the past, right? And you're able to get it for whatever they're charging you per year. And they're making money off of that. So they're under no obligation to share those things for free with other people, right? When we buy old games, right? Buy an old cartridge, the developer doesn't get any money, the programmer don't get any money. That game has been sold previously, right? But what's going to happen when these games are available through streaming? The same thing's going to happen that happened to music. Now these developers, these programmers are going to get a cut of whatever revenue is generated by the streaming service. That's why they're doing this, right? And it's going to be good for the developers, guys. Developers and programmers don't get anything from pirate copies or ROMs or anything like that. But once the streaming starts, that's a revenue source, right? And in the end, I don't think it's going to be a bad thing, guys. You know why? Because you're going to have access to a bunch of games that you would never had access to before on a regular basis, right? Sure, you could have had them, downloaded or whatever, but it's going to be the same way as music, right? Like if your parents still have 30,000 songs somewhere on a hard drive, do they actually use it? I'm sure when they downloaded all that crap, they thought they were going to use it forever, right? And now they don't. It's not necessary. It's old technology. And the same thing with these ROMs. They're going to become obsolete because you're going to have a monthly service fee to play all the games you want to play, and that's just the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles, and you better accept it, right? Nintendo is under no obligation to give you free stuff, nor is any other developer, and they're not going to. Everything's going to go through streaming, everything's going to go to a monthly service fee, and that's the way the future. It sucks, I know, but that's why I'm a retro gamer. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Well, you could, but it's coming to an end. Alright, let's get back to the game. It's probably not going to be the popular opinion, but I am with Nintendo on this one, on the big end. Well, they committed a sin and they're going to get their punishment. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at $3.99. Now I'm going to call it $3.99, but really I got this on the 4 for $10. It's actually $2.50, right? When it comes to sin and punishment, let me tell you, the graphics don't hold up to this generation, of course, because you're playing it on the Nintendo Wii. I mean, come on. But you know what? It's a fun game. There's tons of games that you can play on your Wii that are fun. And the TV that I have, even though it's a flat screen, it's a little bit older. And I like it because it has an AV connection that I'm able to plug old video game consoles in. I do the Dreamcast on there, and I do the Wii. And you know what? They don't look amazing, but you know what? It's playable, and I enjoy it. And that's the gist of it, right? You have to enjoy your games. So anyway, when it comes to sin and punishment, I mean, the first thing that I noticed when I opened this, and I know to some of you it's not going to mean anything, but to old timers, believe me, what a hefty book. I mean, the manual goes into detail, instructions, the artwork that's in here is pretty awesome. I mean, it's not the best, but I mean, they give you more than what you're used to nowadays, you know. Just a little fold-in sheet, screenshots, what you're supposed to do, a little bit of backstory, who the characters are, and you know, it's just a beefy manual, and I do appreciate it. I know it may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but to me, and my opinion is the important one, right? It's good. I miss thick instruction manuals. Yeah, and do they provide a lot of value? I don't know. It just makes me feel good, you know? I mean, it is what it is, guys. But anyway, when it comes to the gameplay of this game, you know, it's a combination, right? It's a real shooter. It's a shooter at sometimes. Play with a nunchuck. It's better than the joystick, I think, at least in my opinion. And there's a couple of areas here. It'll remind you. Now, I'm talking to the old timers, okay? So kids, Dad's talking right now. It reminds me of the old Contra when you were shooting forward at a couple of points, you know, or you're trying to get that target in the middle, because it has some of those. It's not even the same thing, but it's sort of the same type of gameplay where you're jumping around from side to side and you're shooting the target in the middle and other people are shooting at you. Straight up Contra. I mean, that's really what it reminded me of. And I really enjoyed it. And then it turns into a real shooter. You get that feeling of when you're in the arcade, you know, and you're playing the, like House of the Dead type stuff, you know, or those shooters. And it's just a lot of action. If you like action games, man, this game is awesome. You're going to see it on the gameplay. I'm not a great player, and I like to take games out like these, especially that you just pick up and go, because I love de-stressing that way. I don't know if you guys do. If you do, let me know, but I mean, I love de-stressing that way. Now, let's talk about the issue of the day. The issue of the day is, should you have access to free ROMs from Nintendo? Should you have free ROMs?
Hell no.
Oh yeah, check it out. Clean Star Wars in Japanese, baby. Oh yeah.